What's up, everybody? Welcome. Today we are installing a short throw shifter by DDMWORKS and the ultimate shift knob by DDMWORKS in my 2019 Slingshot.
Alright, so I already have a shift boot installed, but I'm still rocking the stock shifter, so I'm going to pop that off. Actually, let me show you going through the gears right now what we got. So neutral. I'm gonna go neutral and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in reverse. So take that off, pops right off. Now, I'm just gonna pull that off. So I gotta loosen this bolt right here on this, or this Allen nut or whatever right here on the side. Oh, that one's tight. Damn. I should have drove this thing so it was like warm. Oh man. Whew. Okay. So that sucks. There it goes. Jesus. Still, I feel like the damn head is just gonna break. And I don't know, like, I wouldn't want to apply heat because all this is plastic, and then you got this rubber boot right here. So I guess just keep giving it hell till it loosens up. And then when you break it free, it's still not really loose. Like, I'm still cranking like crazy to loosen it. Like, it's now starting to get easy to turn. Yeah, they got some good Loctite on that. I don't know, that stuff looks green. There we go. Whew. Start to pull it up. Okay, so pull that off. Now you have the actual shifter. And it's actually really dirty in there. So I'm gonna be careful to not hit this stuff to get it dirty, because I got it like all exposed now. So take these 4 10 millimeter bolts off. And just for reference, these are snug. Like, these are not cranked in there tight. I've been reading a lot on this installation, and one thing you notice is a lot of people mention, like, it's really hard to shift, you know, it doesn't feel good, I don't like it, it's notchy. A lot of people report back that they cranked the new bolts down, these 4 bolts, and just simply snugging them down made a big difference. So, okay, so we got those 4 out. Lift up the metal cap. grease on there at all. Now, it mentions a small black spring. And I'm not seeing that, but nothing came out with this, so I'm gonna assume it's okay. So the first piece we are installing is this right here. So the slot goes over the pin, so that's gonna just drop in just like this. And I'm actually gonna stop right here and grease this stuff up. So here's the grease I got. It's white lithium grease, Permatex. If you don't have this, you can use, you know, some stuff like this. Just, you know, your regular generic vehicle grease. I don't know if this needs to be greased, but I'm gonna grease it up just because. Drop that in. So on the stock shifter, this white thing and this thing need to come off. And this always sounds like it's fun. So I'm gonna try that. Okay, that one's mad. This one is the one they always use tools for, so let's see. I'm just gonna pinch it with these vice grips. These ones suck, by the way, don't ever buy these. I love Cobalt, but these specific ones suck. And then try to do this without it like shooting away, I guess. These are not gonna work. Okay, that wasn't bad at all. I watched a video of a guy doing this on a different car, and he made that look terrible. I'm gonna wipe it down and then use some of my grease. I mean, if we're being honest, this whatever grease they have on here literally just feels like brake fluid. I mean, that might be what they use in their defense. I don't know. That up, put this on the new one. So that's a little snug. There we go. That wasn't bad though. Okay, so this is all gone. We're done with that, I should say. Now, this thing. Actually nasty looking. Like a bunch of black crud on there. Get it halfway cleaned up. From my understanding, you really can't use too much grease. Like, a lot of people say they actually went back and applied more. So I'm just being very, very liberal with it. Same size, I don't really know. There's like two bigger notches, so you just want them to line up. Okay, so the guy I was talking to said spin this around. Oh yeah, you can feel it's like really tight, so spinning it around before it's installed probably just gets the grease all over. Oh yeah, that's night and day. So grease this heavily. Make sure you spin it back the right way. And then, so on mine, I think this is the newer thing, it says install this side up. So obviously I know this side goes up. If you look at these pins though, these pins are higher up on this side, so they need to be on the lower side. I don't think it matters what orientation, but they go front to back like that. This just drops back in. Cool. Progress. Might have a little more grease. That's why I like this one too, because you can kind of squeeze it on. You don't have to like worry about you know, dipping your fingers in that big bucket and globbing it on there and getting super nasty. Let's find the small plate. Goes like that. And then we use their 4 new screws. Now I would probably recommend just a tiny dab of Loctite on here. But I don't have any, unfortunately, so also I don't want to lock these down and then, you know, have to take this thing back out and like re-grease it or something like that. So I will just tighten them for now and then periodically check them, or, you know, put a few 100 miles on them, make sure everything's good, and then take them back out and do some Loctite. So I'm just going to get them nice and snug. So now, slide this back on here. Back over everything. So I think this goes back on. This goes, yep, that's how it goes. Okay, that makes sense. Crank that tight as hell. Okay, now we can put this back on. Now it makes sense. I guess if you wanted an extremely short length shifter, you could take that off. That makes sense, because now you won't see that set screw. I was like, man, I don't really like that, having that on the side. You're gonna be able to see that plain as day. Oh my god, that feels so good. This weighted knob feels amazing. Holy crap. I was never a fan of these in the pictures online. Like, I was like, I don't know, that looks weird. It is so heavy though, and it fits. I shift like this a lot, kind of like sideways or towards the top, but I don't like those sideways ones where it's like this. So this fits in the hand really nice. All right, so let me go over the pattern again. I'm gonna show you the old one right here. Now check this out. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, reverse. Wow, that's so short. And again, you guys saw how much grease I used. I was very liberal with it, white lithium grease. And I mean, I haven't driven it yet, but it goes into every gear. Literally easier than it did stock. Like stock, there was more of a notch, so it sounds a little like thumpier, but I think that's just the geometry and the physics of it, and I'm not mad about that because you're not going to hear that when it started. You're not going to hear any of that. So I'm going to go ahead and clean all this mess up now and take this thing for a spin. I am excited. Alright you guys, so I have had the short throw in my Slingshot for roughly a week now, and I've put probably maybe 200 miles on it, give or take. Yeah, just about a full tank of gas, so little over 200 miles, and it is amazing. One of my favorite mods. Like, if I ever bought another Slingshot or, you know, traded in and upgraded or something, this would be the first thing I do now. Over a radio and everything. It completely changes. Let me backtrack a little bit. I've never driven a manual vehicle with a short throw shifter, so I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if I was going to like it. I drove one Slingshot that was supercharged and had a 4-wheel conversion, and he had this setup, this short throw and the weighted ultimate knob, that's what it's called. And I mean, I literally drove it for like a quarter mile, so I didn't really get to feel it, but I was just like, wow, that feels so much better. So when I got back from that trip, I was like, I gotta order this stuff. So aside from that, I've never driven a manual vehicle that has a short throw shifter or even a weighted shift knob for that matter. So I'm used to going, you know, like first, neutral, second, neutral, third, you know, like having an insane amount, what to me now is an insane amount of spacing between the gears. And this short throw, and I can't speak for the stock knob, so I don't know if short throw would be as awesome with the stock knob. Even if you don't do the short throw, you should do the weighted knob, because it alone feels, not only does that shape, for me personally, because everybody's gonna be different. Some people like the sideways ones, some people like small ones, some people like big ones, you know, yeah, insert your dirty jokes here. But that weighted knob just makes the shifting even more effortless. It's so hard to describe. It makes it shift smoother, and it doesn't feel so like light and clunky, if that makes sense. I really don't know how to describe it. It's smoother, I guess. A smoother shift. And it's the short throw, which is always said to be like noticeably notchier, you know, which you can hear it in the video when I shift, you know, it's clunking around. You can't hear that when you're driving, obviously, you know. So driving impressions right off the bat, I didn't have the problem that a lot of people do. A lot of people say it's really hard to shift, like they're like having to jam it in gear and stuff. I didn't have that problem. I think it's because a combination of the type of grease I used and the amount of grease. I think a lot of people put these together and just do like a small dab of grease, and then that's it. Like, I clobbered that thing in grease, and then when I put that plastic part over that ball, and I do apologize about the angles of the videos, I couldn't see my camera screen, so I thought everything was on camera, but I spun that white piece around, and I added more grease and spun it around, and the more I moved it, the easier it got. Like, that piece sits stationary while the shifter moves around. So if it's hard for you to move that piece, you know, it's gonna reflect that in that shift rod. So just, you know, grease everything. Even if it doesn't look like it needs grease, grease it. Get some grease in there. Anything that can move, get plenty of it in there. Do a little bit extra if you want. It's not gonna hurt anything. So at first, I liked it, but I wasn't crazy about it. It was, honest to God, like learning to drive a manual all over again, if that makes any sense. Like, it was easier to shift, yet it took more effort, even though it required less effort. It's really hard to describe, but like, for instance, normally when I would leave second gear to go into third, I would bump up second, and then, you know, the shifter goes back to the neutral in the middle, and then I just go forward to third. With this one, you know, like with the old one, second's back here, and then you push forward, it, you know, noticeably moves like this, and then you go into third. With the short throw, it's like this, so you're like, you know, there's not much movement side to side. So going from second to third and then from fourth to fifth took some really big adjusting to get used to again. Like, I had missed third and went to fifth one time. Luckily I was driving, you know, it was later, so there wasn't a lot of traffic, and that's not a big deal. I wasn't trying to, you know, fly or anything like that, so it didn't hurt anything either. But the more I drove it, not only did I get used to it quickly, but it seemed to kind of ease up. Like, everything felt even better now. Like, I don't know if it just had to break in a little bit. You know, if maybe some of those metal parts had to just kind of, maybe had some kind of coating on them that wore off or something. But now I can shift the thing just as good as I did before, and better and quicker. And it's just, it completely changed the whole driving dynamics for me. It is so much better. Like I said, this will be the first mod I do to any, honestly, any manual vehicle I buy from here on out. We'll get a short throw shifter right off the bat. I highly recommend it. The shifter and the knob, I believe, was just under like $200, and it was, like, again, my favorite $200 I've spent on that thing. Highly recommend it, guys. If you don't like it at first, please give it a chance. Make sure you don't have those 4 bolts cranked too tight, and make sure you have plenty of grease in there. And just let it break in, let yourself relearn it, and, you know, see if you like it. If not, it's something you can easily resell, because people want these things a lot. So I do appreciate you guys watching this video. I hope to help some of you out, even if it's only one person. That's awesome. Thumbs up would be greatly appreciated down below. I wasn't given this stuff for free or discounted or anything like that. I bought it with my own money, and these are my honest thoughts, my honest reviews, and yeah. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you see, this channel will be full of car stuff from here on out, so go ahead and give it a subscribe. Click down in the description to see my tech channel and my vlog channel if you want to. Thanks, guys. See you later.